Welcome back to the Fashion Industry Business and Career Show. I'm your host, Tarina Nicole, and today we have a very special guest, Nkrumah Jennings. Nkrumah was born in New York and grew up in New Jersey. This juror's journey started in 1998 when he was in his mid-20s. He took a trip from Birmingham, Alabama to Puerto Rico, then from Puerto Rico to Venezuela and Brazil. While in Puerto Rico, a man by the name of Shamba overheard Mr. Jennings and a friend planning the Venezuela portion of their trip. Shamba offered to teach him how to make simple handmade jewelry out of gemstones and jewelry wire, stating that this craft would help Jennings finance the rest of his trip. While traveling, Nkrumah met other jewelers who taught him how to work metal. He traveled the Amazon for 5 days. During that time, he played dominoes on the upper deck of the ship with native South Americans who taught him how to turn brass and silver wire into classic jewelry designs. In 2001, Nkrumah moved to Brooklyn. Once in New York, the jewelry designer quickly earned himself a name and a following in the fashion industry and among fellow artists with game-changing designs and quality work, and launched his brand Anew Rock and Metal. Nkrumah has met and adorned almost all of his favorite artists, sheroes and heroes. That list would include the likes of Roberta Flack and Mary J. Blige, to name a few. Today, he continues to serve a great wealth of clients from all over the world. Nkrumah, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm so excited to have you on, and thank you for being the first male on my show. Very exciting. So, I don't know if you remember the very first time we met. I feel like you remember the second time we met, because I think that you believe we met the first time in Harlem.
That's what I do believe.
No, we actually met before then. We met in Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
We met in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn?
Yes, Brooklyn. So there was a park in Brooklyn where we were both vending. Yeah, I was there with my daughter and a friend of my daughter's, and you were there on the other side of the park. And this was maybe 2008.
Was this the African Street Festival?
It wasn't a festival. It was just a normal day in Brooklyn where they let vendors set up for free to vend. And we were both vending that same day. It was maybe 4 other artists out in the park that day.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, I remember that so vividly. And then, because I had never seen work so beautiful, I was just like blown away. You don't forget something like that. I was like, whoa, like let me pack up because this guy is going to get all the money that's out here today. And then a few years later, maybe like 2010, 2011 is when we met in Harlem, when we were both doing a Harriet's Alter Ego show, right? Yeah, and so I sat next to you, remembering that I was like, oh my God, it's the same, jewelry designer. And so, yeah, and then it just so happened that I had a blog with a partner. Her name's Nicole. Do you remember Nick? She's from Philly. Nick and I, Nick interviewed you. We had a blog called, oh, don't get me started. The Lifestyles of the Authentic and Creative.
I think she interviewed me in Brooklyn at Fort Wayne Park.
Well, I don't know when she interviewed you. All I know is here it was on our blog. And I was like, wow, this is the third interaction I'm having with this jewelry designer. I was like, Nick, I didn't realize you knew him.
That was like outside somewhere?
Honestly, I don't know, because it wasn't a video. So she transcribed the interview for the blog. She wrote it up. Yeah. And so I knew it was you because of beautiful work. Your work stands alone. And so, yeah, so it's so exciting because I feel like I've been following your work since like 2008. So now that you're one of my personal friends, it's very exciting. So I like to start with the origin of your story. Like, what type of child were you? Were you always very creative?
I was, but I was more so an observer.
Okay.
So I would ask my parents to put me in art school. I did various different things. Like we used to have a graffiti thing in school. We used to draw graffiti on notebooks and stuff and create comics and stuff like that. I did certain little things like that. But mostly what influenced my work was I used to watch the plumbers.
The plumbers.
They would come to my house and they would come in the basement. I remember they would like fix the copper pipes.
Okay.
And they would solder the pipes.
Mm.
And I remember that I would always hang out down there and just watch them. I just thought it was amazing that you could take two pieces of metal and fuse them together.
Yeah, it is actually.
And later on, I was realizing, I'm remembering this now because I connected this when I started working, and I remember that time, but I forgot about that connection until just now. And I had uncles who were woodworkers.
Okay. So you're used to seeing people who work with their hands and make beautiful things.
All of my father's side of the family owns their own businesses.
Wow. So you come from a line of entrepreneurs.
It's 11 uncles and aunts. And out of 11 uncles and aunts, 5 of them have 2 children apiece.
Great. That's a huge family.
And those children have children and children.
Wow.
So it's a lot of people, and mostly everybody works for themselves.
I love it.
So the woodworkers, my oldest uncle and my youngest uncle were woodworkers. They used to make furniture, they used to take furniture and redo it. They would find something on the street, bring it in, and redo it, whatever like that. It's interesting because now I'm getting back into that.
Into furniture making.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing with metal and furniture that I'm doing. And yeah, I'm starting making art with metal and wood and stuff like that.
It's all related. I love that. I love that. So when you were really young, were you thinking, I want to be self-employed when I grow up? I want to be...
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But were you thinking that you would be an artist, a self-employed artist, or just that you knew you wanted to work for yourself?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the art thing.
Okay.
I just knew that following the example of my father and his brothers, like, that was just my example. Like, they all worked.
So that was just normal life. Yeah.
And they worked very hard.
Right, of course.
Worked about 12, 14 hours a day.
Wow.
And, so that's the earliest, my earliest recollection. I actually started making jewelry because I learned to do it about a month before my daughter was conceived.
Okay.
So when her mother came and told me that she was pregnant, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm making jewelry because I didn't want her to have an image of me working for somebody else. So I just learned how to make jewelry, so I was like, well, I guess
this is my life.
Yeah.
Got it. Wow. So besides Samba, am I saying his name correctly?
Actually, Shamba.
Shamba, okay. And this was the man that you met in Puerto Rico. And the natives that you studied under, did you do any other training at all?
No, not really. I mean, I pretty much picked up techniques and things and methodologies from various people over the years in the same way I learned from Shamba.
Okay.
Like Shamba, he, just showed me a couple things.
Okay.
And then I looked at what he did and I was like, oh, I can do that and I can make money off it. And then I started going to the cruise ships. He told me to go to the cruise ships down in Puerto Rico, downtown, and set up a table in front of there. Wow. At nighttime, when people come off the ships, they'll come down and buy jewelry. Wow. And then the same thing when I was on the boat in the Amazon, it was just people showing me little things, like just how to make the findings. Because what actually happened is I ran out of supplies that I bought in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I was buying findings in Puerto Rico, like the clasp and stuff for the necklaces and
right.
wires.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was something I could make.
Right. I didn't realize that until I studied Metalsmith in grad school. I'm like, oh, I could make my own ear wires.
Right.
Had no idea.
So this guy had kind of attached himself to me and my daughter's mother.
Okay.
And we were traveling, like, we were hitchhiking, and we didn't have any money. We were just trying to get to the next destination however we could.
Yeah.
And he kind of attached himself. Well, he was a leather worker.
Oh, like me.
Yeah,
nice.
That's interesting. I just realized, like, yeah. So as he's moving, he's doing the same I'm doing, he's putting belts together, and he's selling belts to get his money to keep moving.
Right.
And I was like, man, I gotta find a store somewhere where I can do some findings. I've never been out of the country before. Okay. And I'm in places that are like rural sometimes, where it's like
a lot of Puerto Rico is rural.
Where I was at was a lot in Puerto Rico is. You go to the middle of that, the places I went were even more rural than that.
Wow.
We were straight like Indians out in huts.
Out in the wilderness.
And
Wow.
yeah.
Whoa,
like
he
that.
said huts.
So I was like, where am I gonna find a jewelry store?
Right.
And the guy, his brother, was like, you don't have to do that. He was like, I can show you how to make your own findings.
Wow. So this leather worker who was traveling with you and the mother of your child taught you how to make your own findings? Wow.
And that enabled me to keep moving.
Yeah.
I had plenty of stones.
Stones,
and,
right.
And that
but stones by themselves are not jewelry.
Right.
Yeah.
And in that part of the world, it's easy to get stones. Everywhere. Everywhere. So that wasn't an issue. I just had to get the findings. When I got back to the States, I wasn't really making earrings like that.
Okay, where did you start with?
I started with like bracelets and necklaces.
Okay.
And anklets.
Got it.
And I was even making belts for a while too. Like, belts with like leather and stones intertwined or whatever. And I was in Soho on the street, on Prince Street.
Okay.
And I wasn't making a lot of money.
Okay.
And so I was gonna leave and go to another street. My friend told me about Union Square. And the day I was gonna leave, some people from Colombia, which is very interesting, South America.
Right.
They were like, you're leaving or whatever? I was like, yeah. They were like, well, let us show you something real quick. So they showed me how to make these chandelier earrings. Now, what's interesting is that when I was in South America, I would see people making this very intricate jewelry. They would put the wire on their toe.
On their toe?
And they would like, as they came up, they would make all these pieces. And you see the stuff, the South American stuff with a lot of the intricate wire work.
Okay.
Right? I always wanted to do it, but it looks so crazy,
It's complicated.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really not, well, when you work with your hands, nothing's really complicated.
Right, because once you learn it, you know it.
Once you learn, you know it.
Yeah.
So they pulled me to the side and they showed me how to make a chandelier. Right? Very intricate, like, 3-part earring, but like about that big. I went home, I made like 4 pairs.
Okay.
I came back in the same corner. They saw my earrings and they were amazed.
Wow.
And I was able to go home after that one lesson.
Right.
And make 4 and come back the next day. I came back the next day, I sold all.
Wow.
And then I started making simple stuff where I just take a piece of metal, cut out like a shape. Like an oval was my first shape. I came back, brought those back. I never forget, I had used a machine to put a hole in the earring and it slipped and it put a big scratch on the earring. It was a silver pair, sterling silver.
Okay.
And I didn't want to put them out, but I didn't have a lot of jewelry, so I had to put them out.
Right, even just as a display.
Yeah. So this little boy and his mother came down the street, and this is a very high-end area, so everybody walked down the street, I was right in front of the Coach store.
Yeah, they got money.
And they came by, and the little boy was like, look, Mom, look at those earrings. Right? He was like probably 7 years old, right? And his mother was like, how much are those? At the time, they were cheap, I didn't know any better, it was like $50. And she bought them with the scratch on them. That became my first, that and the chandelier became like my first staple design.
Wow.
And then from there, it just, like a tree, it just went off into all kind of directions.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting because when we make things from hand, the imperfections are sometimes exactly what people fall in love with.
Yes.
Because they know that you're not going to have another earring with that same scratch, that's for sure.
Right.
It really is one of a kind, you know what I mean?
Right.
What I love about your story is how you were able to humble yourself to learn from others. Because I feel like so many people claim they want to be this, they want to become this version of themselves, but they won't allow the learning process to happen. You know what I mean? You were able to learn from everyone who wanted to pour into you. You weren't like, I already know this, you don't gotta tell me, look what I can do. You were open, you were receptive. Now
Still to this day.
That is such a gem by itself. I mean,
It is.
pardon the pun, but it really is a gem, being open to learning. Someone asked me yesterday on Facebook, how often do I learn new things? I said almost daily. First of all, I start my day reading, and I belong to Skillshare, so anything I don't know how to do, I just take a lesson. You know what I mean? Like, you have to constantly be honing new skills. Yeah. And I think people who get stuck with the same knowledge they've had in their heads since high school, they're dinosaurs.
Yeah. And they eventually phase out.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
My
They
daughter,
can't innovate.
who's like 20, you know, she gives me a lot of information. And, you know, I listen to anything she tells me. I displays the background color. She told me to change my background from black to white. It made a huge difference immediately. And I have a meeting coming up with two other young ladies by the name of Tanea and Alexis. I just contacted them today, and one of them is 21, the other one's 27. And I'm meeting for the same purpose. They can sit down and talk to me about certain marketing things.
I think that's so wise. I mean, we're in our 40s, but if you aren't surrounding yourself with people in all age groups, you're playing yourself. You know, I have friends in their 20s. You know what I mean? Some of them I mentor, and some of them I consider friends, you know, because they bring something to the table as well. They think that they're learning from me, but at the same time, I'm learning from them.
Because the technology, there's things that we're not as connected to that they bring us back to.
Right, things that they were born doing.
They're like, look, don't just use Facebook, use Instagram. You know,
use
certain
Tumblr,
things like that.
use this. I mean, one person was trying to get me to use that TikTok, but I said, well, I'm gonna leave that.
Some of it is like,
I'm gonna leave that to the kids.
right. I'm gonna hire somebody to do that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your work more, because when I look at your pieces, this, I mean, it's just, all your pieces are such statement pieces. So can you tell me a little bit about the type of stones that you use? So, at least in this one.
Yeah, so I use everything, you know, really how I get my stones is just when people request them.
Okay, so if they request a ruby, you get them a ruby.
Yeah, I give them a diamond, I give them whatever they want.
Got it.
This is what I put together for a sister because she has a blue theme. Her name is Tiffany.
Okay.
She's out of Virginia. And I met her at a show down there, and she bought this same necklace without the stones, but like a different design on the bottom. Okay. And her hair is blue.
Oh, so blue is her thing.
That's her thing. It's like sky blue.
Okay.
And I had a contest for pictures. Like my clients send me a lot of pictures when they wear the stuff.
Okay.
So I had them send me a collage of all the pieces they had in the pictures.
Wow.
And she killed the contest.
Because she had so many pieces of yours?
Nah, because she was going to Afropunk in Brooklyn. Okay. And she was all dolled up. Okay. So she had like blue feathers and coming out of her hair and this blue. And she had this necklace on that I made for her. And she just turning her head with the hair was done really nice with the blue. And she's just like, and it got like immediately like 1,000 views.
Wow.
Like the first half hour.
Wow.
She killed the contest.
So what did she win?
This.
Oh, she won the necklace.
She ended up taking something else. Okay. But that's how I got this theme was because of her blue.
Oh,
so
got it.
I mute this blue with these stones.
Okay. Now what are these stones called?
Those are agates.
Okay, these are agates. And this blue.
That's a lapis.
Blue lapis. Beautiful. Now, is this brass?
That's brass.
This is brass. Is that what you primarily work in, or?
Probably so. Okay. Because, you know, when golds and silver escalated in the, I would say around 2002 was one of the price hikes. A lot of people found value in buying brass because it's the same. Like this.
It looks the same.
Yeah, this is like red brass.
Okay.
There's two different kinds. There's red and then there's a high brass, which is like more yellowy. Okay. But this looks more gold. When it's shined up, it looks just like gold. And if you want to have it shined up, you just get some solution to keep it shined up. So even like people that were like millionaires that were coming to me buying stuff, they would invest in brass. Wow. Because the gold was so price. It doesn't make any sense. And gold fluctuates, whereas brass. It's going up right now. It's going up right now. We're in the middle of another. By March, it's going to be from 2,500 to I think 6,000 brick. A brick. Wow. But will you have customers who are just determined they only want gold or they only want sterling silver? Oh, sure. A lot of customers, they want platinum, they want gold, they want whatever they want, I make. Okay. Some want steel. This is a steel piece that I made for a whole other purpose. This necklace actually is designed after, it was a request from a sister by the name of Jessie Thompson. Okay. She goes to the Breakfast Club about once a month. Okay. And because she has a wellness company called something about fibroids.
Oh.
Something like removing. The name is like something like removing fibroids or something like that.
Got it.
Jessie cured herself.
Wow.
And then was able to have a child at 45 or something like that. She cured herself.
Go ahead,
And so she goes on there like once a month, and she wears my stuff, and she's very good. I met her with Carol's daughter.
Okay.
At Essex. And Carol's daughter, I forget her actual name.
That's oh God, I just was watching her on Netflix the other day. It'll come to me when it's coming.
People know Carol's daughter.
Yes, exactly.
So, and actually what's interesting is that I had made stuff for her years, like a decade before I met her.
Oh wow.
I had met her one time, but I made something before I met her. Her sister was making leather pocketbooks, and she was having me go copper pipe for the handles of the pocketbooks.
Beautiful.
And the first piece we made was for Carol's daughter.
Okay.
So in years, and I met her on a plane, traveling somewhere. A couple years later, just briefly, and then I met her again at Essence with Jessie, and Jessie became like a major client of mine. So she requested, this is from Wakanda, this top part.
Okay.
This is called an Endeavor choker.
Can I turn this around so we can look at this back? Because
yeah, every part of the piece is
it's
important.
just absolutely stunning. I
Thank
want
you.
to bring it closer to the camera, actually. Really beautiful.
Yeah, every part of it is important. The back, every little part we put.
I love this closure.
Thank
I mean, that's absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, every part of this is just a work of art. So I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, so that designer, I wish I could remember her name, but she's the main jeweler from the Black Panther movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember her name offhand, but that's a replica of her work. And I always make sure to mention that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because,
Yeah, that is important.
yeah, and
Because we don't steal from one another.
Right. Yeah, somebody actually asked
if
me to
something
make
is
it,
inspired by something else,
Yes.
we want to give credit to the original designer.
Yes, I tagged her when I put the post up, and I tagged her, and I made sure I put in the post, this is a design after so-and-so, I forget her name, and she was very appreciative of that.
Wonderful.
And she's
Wonderful.
a badass.
I bet she is.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
She's stuff out of control.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So at this point, how do you distribute your pieces? Do you work strictly custom, or do you do some ready-made pieces and you sell on your website? Do you sell in stores? Like, how is a new rock and metal distributed?
So we operate just like a classic jewelry company or a clothing company. Every season we come out with a certain amount of design.
Okay, a new collection every season.
Yeah, and we have our templates and everything for those designs. And then people can order whenever they want. Like sometimes people call them and ask them, we can make this, and that. And now
That's custom. I know you do wedding pieces.
you do wedding rings and stuff like that. The wedding ring collection is a work in progress because we don't have set designs for wedding rings.
So they're all custom.
Yeah, the customer comes, and then we work with them to design the piece. Sometimes they'll send us a magazine clipping and ask if we can make it like that. And we always can. We're jewelers. So we can make that. Usually we put our own twist on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they ask for symbolisms from different cultures, Arabic, India, African culture. We do mostly, of course, African stuff. Adinkra symbols that we actually, and the Adinkra symbols are interesting because there are hundreds of them.
They really are.
And they all mean something.
Right.
So you can actually take the symbol and put meaning to your wedding according to what you want to state for your wedding.
Yeah.
So it can be like unity, perseverance, stuff like that,
Right.
and we'll take that symbol and put it right into the piece.
I love that. I love that.
After a while, we'll have a line of wedding rings.
Got it.
Or maybe not. Maybe we'll always do it like this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the beauty of being self-employed. You have the option to do whatever the hell you want to do. All right. So one thing I also love about your brand is you do these spectacular shows. Yeah. I mean, because you're used to seeing fashion shows have all of this drama and beauty and music and all of these things going on, but you incorporate that in your shows as a jewelry designer. So how important is that to you in reaching your target audience?
It's just we always keep it like 100 as far as who we are.
Yeah, and that's what I love. You stay really true. Your brand is you, and you are your brand.
We like set the trend. We don't, look at magazines to get ideas,
right,
stuff like that.
Right.
We're the magazine. We are the trend.
We are the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there was actually one time when I walked down Madison Avenue, New York, back in around 2008.
Okay.
And I was looking at the different stores on Madison Avenue. Now, for those of you all that don't know, Madison Avenue is a very high-end area in uptown New York.
Yes. Yeah.
And there were several stores, not two, not three, like several that had all great lifestyles.
Wow.
The hammering technique was something that I didn't invent.
What kind of technique is it called?
Hammering.
Hammering.
I put those
yes. Oh yeah, I know
on.
what hammering is.
I didn't invent it, but nobody was really using it at the time. We also do something called patina.
Yeah.
Where we oxidize the metals and make them green and blue or like deep red and stuff like that.
So beautiful.
And I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing patina and hammering everywhere. You know what I mean? I was like, this is interesting, right?
Wow.
So then I go to the metal store like a week later.
Okay.
I buy my stuff.
Your supplier.
Yeah. The owner is the one that turned me on to patina. I actually got turned on to patina having met an artist who had like a necklace on that had a patina pendant. And I asked her, she told me that's patina. And so I started researching it because I really liked the color.
Yeah.
And I started figuring out. And then when I went to the store, the owner showed me how to do it.
Okay.
And then he gave me a couple books free.
Wonderful.
One of the books was like $125.
Wow.
That had patina techniques from Japan to...
See, that's what I love. Everyone loves you. They just give you stuff. We love Nkrumah.
Thank you. So I went to the store that day and he was like, they had to buy cases of acid because everybody was raping my patina thing.
Wow.
Like he told me, he's like, all these people coming in here and they are biting off of you hard. We have to buy. And then when I went to the street that week, sure enough, we walked down the street and I'm seeing all these jewelers out there spraying the jewelry, trying to keep the patina on there, and this and that. The thing is, they weren't even like jewelers for real. Most of them were buying stuff and reselling it. And
buying ready-made jewelry.
And then they were oxidizing it.
I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot. Wow.
I've had people call me, send me emails, and they'll say, they'll send me a picture, and they'll say, I was just in Japan, and like my picture would be in a magazine in Japan with my jewelry next to it. So like while I'm on the street, you got these paparazzi people out there, and they be snapping, I guess they're gonna fly or whatever.
Because you are.
Snapping a picture, and then I would show up in like magazines. I don't even know I was out there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But that's where you belong. I mean, your work has been on many beloved artists of our times, including, I love the earrings I saw Mary J. Blige wearing of yours. And so, I mean, you belong in the magazine. So it's only right. So I wanted to know if someone wants to study metalsmithing and they don't have the access to Shamba in Puerto Rico or natives in the Amazon, where or how should they get started?
Pretty much in any town, even some medium-sized towns, they have metalsmithing workshops.
Yeah, like community colleges.
Yeah, that's not really hard to find unless you're out in some rural place or whatever. And even there, you still should be able to find somebody that does that.
Yeah, I was in upstate New York and studying at Peters Valley School of Craft. I was studying woodworking. Okay. And I was there for a week, building all day from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. building with wood, and simultaneously a blacksmithing workshop was going on. And so you're right, like if that's what you want to find, you can find it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a wealth of books and videos and So you say just find it and get started?
It's very available to learn.
But the harder part probably is learning what your own personal style is. Because anyone can learn how to cut and bend metal. Another, a skill is learning to design.
Yeah.
Learning to determine who you are as a designer and bring that out into your work.
Yeah, and
You've
really,
done so beautifully.
when I teach classes, I remember the first time I taught a class in high school, I immediately discovered that everybody has a purpose in life. Like, I knew that before, but it really was brought home when I taught the class because everybody wanted to take my class. It was an all-boys school, a public school. It was an all-boys public school in the Bronx. And like, I'm in the hood, you know what I mean?
Right,
like
right.
a real crazy part of the Bronx.
All of the Bronx is the hood, if you ask me.
Right.
I mean, this is Camden, so, I'm not, speaking out of turn.
But I had all these boys. I was surprised. My class was full the first day of registration.
I love it.
And the thing is that even though all of them wanted to take the class, only like maybe a third of them were really craftspeople.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell
Who
people,
had it innately.
Yeah. If you have it innately, then everything's going to be easy.
Right.
If you don't have it innately,
It's going to be a struggle.
then you really shouldn't really mess with it.
Right.
Maybe you might hire, like, you want to have a business that does that, then the best thing to do would be to hire somebody who does that and create a business around it.
Right.
And that's really how you make the most money.
Right. Because when you are the person who's doing the work physically, you only got two hands. It's only but
only but so much.
Exactly. Yeah. No, absolutely. So speaking of such, what is next for New Rock and Metal? I know you were talking about furniture design. That's exciting.
Yeah. So we've been collaborating with another entity, and we've been doing wood art. This week I had to make some plaques for the Greeks, the Black Greek organizations.
Okay.
So I took their letters, cut out metal, and I was making these plaques about that. Sigma Theta Phi, Alpha, and that was for a situation they had last Monday at community college. I was given that commission assignment because of what I was really doing before that. So last week I was taking the same covers and the different designs or the different symbols and putting them on wood. And my godmother saw it, and she's an administrator at CCP, so she was like, "You should, make these." They actually bought them off me.
Wonderful.
They bought like about 9 of them off of me for that particular event, which is the Divine Nine.
Divine
is
Nine.
the Greek fraternity. That's the number of them.
Got
it's
it.
called the Divine Nine.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that until she gave me the permission.
Okay, yeah, I never got involved in fraternity stories and stuff. I don't know.
So we are also, I used to be on the road a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
And actually, one time I was doing about 42 shows a year.
I remember you and I did a show in Virginia.
Yeah. And so, as of December 21st, I stopped doing shows.
It's a lot of wear and tear.
It's a lot of wear and tear, and you really...
It's very unpredictable, too.
It's very unpredictable.
But I know you still do, you still go out to Essence Fest, right? Is it Essence Fest?
December 21st was my last show.
Okay, you're not doing that anymore. Well, what about being in Brooklyn? I know that you're...
December 21st was my
You're
last
done! You are done! He said I'm over the road. Why?
Yeah.
Tell us why.
Well, number one, I need to separate myself from...
Selling and making?
Yeah.
Boom! How did I know that? Because singing.
Exactly.
Singing, yeah.
So, if we're at a show, it'll be somebody else selling jewelry. But as far as me behind the table,
Right.
that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Because, number one, it cheapens the value of what you're doing. Like, I love being out there.
Yeah.
And
I love meeting my clients and interacting with them.
We'll
right.
have like
but I'm not going to have them with you, my people.
That's the thing when people they see you that
they want to hook
they get
up.
entitled.
Yes.
So,
They're like, look, I'm wearing your pieces, so
Yes.
give me $100 off. And
and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
So but more than that, it's like you said, it's the wear and tear. It's like I can't grow my business
if I'm everywhere.
if I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
So we started cutting it down about 3 years ago. So we went from like 42 shows to like we were only doing Essence
Okay.
and those big shows.
Yeah.
We went like 42 to like 21 shows, and there was one year we were doing just it's Essence, Jazz Fest in New Orleans, and then the one you mentioned, Dance Africa.
Yeah, bam.
And then we do little small shows in between there. And then last year, we didn't even do Essence, I think 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years ago, was our last Essence show.
Okay.
And the thing is that all the shows, because of how the online thing is going, all those shows and that physical brick and mortar thing is all dwindling down, like by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, every time you turn around, Macy's, Forever 21, they're all going
They're all going down.
Everybody wants to shop online.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
unless you can create an experience for people, a reason for them to come out, if they need to buy something, they can do it. Like, I mean, even my grocery shopping online, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people don't want to leave the house.
I'm saying about experience because a friend of mine who has a body care company in Virginia, I wish I could remember her name so I could give her a shout out, but she's in Virginia. And she had a brick and mortar.
Okay.
She does a lot of online. She's major in the industry. Like she be popular, you know. And she told me that. She said, because I still want to get a brick and mortar.
Okay.
Right? But she was like, when you get it, you know, you got to make it an experience.
It has to be. Because if not, people aren't going to
they're not
show
just going to
up.
walk in there and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, now, you know, we'll do like we're located in Philly. So we'll do like some local stuff just to connect
with the community.
The community in Philly.
Right.
You know, and we do a lot of work in the community that's attached to our art. So it's like Miss Black Jeans, which is an institution for young ladies.
Wonderful.
It's an empowerment institution.
I love it.
I do work for them, making their crowns, the crowns for the
I
Queen
love
of
that.
Miss Black Jeans and jewelry for them and stuff like that. There's, you know, I teach young men, young ladies and stuff like that. I teach them about business, teach them how to make jewelry. They come work for me, they get paid and all kinds of things like that.
I love that.
People have me come out and come to their schools and so we're very much, that part will always keep.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with what we do.
Yeah. So if you're not doing shows, how can people who want to purchase a new rock and metal find you?
So, our studio is located in South Philly. We take appointments, you can always come by.
Okay.
We have people that come by from all the way as far as Virginia, to get stuff made and stuff like that. Then there is Anu Rock Metal. So it's
that's the website?
Yeah, so it's anurockmetal.net.
anurockmetal.net.
Yes.
Got it.
The company name, you can find it under 2 names. One is Anu Rock and Metal Jewelry. The jewelry is lowercase. Or Anu Rock Metal LLC. So if you just put Anu Rock Metal in Google, it comes right up.
Okay.
And then there's Instagram, Anu Rock Metal. And then there's Facebook, Anu Rock Metal, Anu Rock Metal Jewelry business page.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then there's the personal page, Nkrumah Jennings.
Which
so it's very,
personal.
very easy to find us. We contact you right away. Usually it's not me, but you know, my partner that answers the messages and stuff like that.
Okay.
And usually within like 2 minutes, like very instantly get to you.
Got it. All right, so we now know where to find you. We are so excited about your work. And for those of you who are watching, sorry podcast listeners, but I will leave a link to the YouTube video so that you can join in as well. But for those of you who are watching the video, you are going to get a special treat. We have the incredible Nkrumah Jennings, and he is going to show you how to do a quick DIY metal, what are we doing specifically? Some earrings?
So what we're gonna do here is something real quick, but it is a classic design. This is called, we call spooks. This earring was made, a replica that, a lot of our stuff is made that people request, that like cult classic stuff. So there's a movie called A Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Oh yes.
And in that movie, the lead character, his girlfriend, kind of not really girlfriend, but like his friend that was with him all the time, she wore this particular earring.
Okay.
And we were requested to make this earring around 2005, 2006. It's been a staple. We always have it in line, whether it's winter, spring, summer, it's just always something that we make.
Okay, it's a classic.
Yes, classic. So, first thing you want to do, you have your wire. This is brass wire. It's about a 10 gauge. It's a little thick for what we're doing, but it'll work fine.
Okay.
And you just want to kind of get everything straightened out. You don't want to hit it too hard to flatten the wire or anything like that. You just want to get it straightened out. Alright? Then, filing is the most important part of jewelry making. Because you don't want the edges of anything to be pointy. And what separates us, like we say that the most important part is filing. But what's funny is that what separates us from a lot of other jewelry designers is that they don't file sometimes. And sometimes you buy earrings and the ear hooks will be pointy at the tips and stuff like that, and we file everything. Nothing can be pointy. Anything that's facing out has to be filed down. So you file the
So it's
tip.
nice and smooth. You don't have to worry about sticking yourself.
Right. And even when you as a client come to our studio and you're rubbing over stuff, we don't want anything to have any kind of sharpness to it, even if you're just feeling it. So what I did, you start over. So basically, I'm making like a medium size of this design, right? These are needle nose pliers, round nose, right? And then take that, bring it down. It's a very simple design, right? And then I'm gonna put that wire, that thing about like right there, okay? And then turn it this way. Okay? Now, a lot of our work is judgment, meaning they're approximations, right? So if it's like sheet metal, it's gonna have a template. And that template, we're gonna trace out the shapes and everything needs to have the exact same size and shape. With something like this, we have sizes for them, but every pair is not coming out exactly the same because as you can see, I'm doing it freehand and organic.
Right.
So I estimate when I get up here to see exactly how I want the top part to be. So I say I estimated about like right here, right? For the people watching that are interested in something like this, you know, you just want to, over time, you kind of figure out your measurements. You don't have to do everything with a ruler.
Right, you eyeball it.
Anything. You kind of eyeball it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you got that top part. I filed it down. Also, the file, by the way, is you file it like you file your nails, right? So you don't go back and forth.
Got you. One direction.
One direction, right? You can cut it and come back, but it's one direction. That gives you more control of the file.
Okay.
It might be a little difficult for some at first, but over time, you keep doing it the same way, eventually your hand, you develop a thing with your wrist, where it becomes like...
Second nature.
Right. You can come back with these, and you want to use the fat part of the thing, not all the way up top, but the fat part, all right? And you're only going to grab enough to get a hold of it. You don't want this sticking out because if that's sticking out like that, you're not going to get a circle.
Gotcha.
Okay? So you want to do just enough to grab the tip of it and then use your tool to create the design. Right? So you see, I'm just holding it with one hand and then I'm using the other hand to shape it. Right? Real simple. Okay? Bring this down a little bit, make little adjustments here and there. Then I handle it on my lap. So I gotta stand up so you all can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
Basically, I usually do this in a chair, and you put this on the fat part of your leg. It won't bother your knee or anything.
Why do you do it on your lap and not on the table? It's just more comfortable for you?
Well, I'll show you the difference.
Okay.
Right? Hear the difference?
Yes.
That's why.
Huh.
The noise lets you know what's happening. All that noise means that the pressure, what you're doing, is going into the table.
Ah.
The muffled sound means that more of the pressure is going into the metal in this block.
Very, very
It's the first time I actually verbalize it out loud.
That's
It's interesting how it just came out my mouth. I've never said that before. Right. Right. That. This is just to give it detail. We hammer almost everything.
Okay.
Right.
For the texture.
Yes. To give it some definition.
Yes.
That's the earring.
Beautiful.
And then after that, all you do is put a hook on it. For those that you can buy hooks for those that just want to buy them. From
Right.
any finding store, just
Or
open this
even
up.
like a Joann's or Michael's.
Yes. Just open that up, slip the hook on there, and then close it. For those that want to go the extra mile, you can make the hook and slip it on there. That's another class.
That's another class. Nkrumah
Spook earring.
Jennings, Spook Earrings. Thank you so much. That's amazing.